Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and call in order for the Lodgers Tax Advisory Board for Tuesday, May 10th, 2022. This is my first time running it, so bear with me on this. And Thomas didn't let me know. So we'll go ahead and call in order for that. Can we do roll call?
Thomas Martin, Freddie Bryant,
Here.
Gail Tarson,
Here.
Chelsea Cordova, Commissioner Garza,
Here.
and Stephen Rodriguez.
Here. Okay. And if we can get approval of minutes of March 8th, 2022. Anybody have any questions on that?
Okay, so here is new for first day, and it's only two of you. We can.
I move to approve.
I'll second approve. Okay. Okay. Of course, we review the largest tax boards as they were sent in.
Mr. Chairman, we need a vote.
Oh, sorry.
You can do it by acclamation as well, so all in favor.
Okay. Acclamation, all in favor of roll call?
Aye.
Or approve
Aye.
the minutes? Okay. All right. The review of applications, we're going to go through them as they were turned in. So the first one's going to be the High Plains Junior Rodeo.
Thank you all for having us here tonight. We appeared back here in January and asked for $25,000. In the years past, we asked for $25,000. And then we come back and get a supplement. We've been awarded 20 so far. It was such a shot in our arm for our attendance and our memberships when we came back to New Mexico. We have grown our attendance by 40 members just coming back to New Mexico. Unfortunately, with today's economy, everything costs so much more. So we're asking for an additional 10. We've already been awarded 20, and that will pay for the prize saddles, which I gave you the pictures up there for, and they turned out great. We had that stamp made so we can tool leather with it from now on.
Okay. Any questions?
I had none.
No questions. You get off easy.
You good?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. The next one in order will be the Clovis Softball Association.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Appreciate you guys letting us come before you and ask you for some funds again, as we've had in the past. We're a little bit late. We've already had 3 big tournaments that we felt very comfortable with. I brought some numbers on those 3 just for the economic impact so far for this year. All 3 of them, we start the numbers based on the individual's tournament. The formula is below is number of visiting teams times 30 approximately out-of-state players, coaches, and fans per team from out of town. We base it on the out-of-town teams. And then we get this from the Tourism Association and the National Parks and Recreation Association for these figures. So far with 3 tournaments this year, impact dollars in Clovis have been $283,500. And some associations survey that and multiply it times 3 because it stays in the town a little bit more and rotates around a little bit. So approximately $850,000 total economic dollars. Clovis Softball Association is very aware of the need to help the Clovis economy and strives every year to put on the best possible tournaments for its participants. Clovis Softball is very proud to host 2 of the 3 largest in the state of New Mexico for the last 10 years. And I get bitsy on them because I started both those 2 tournaments back in '83 and '93. So it's fun. And it's the Custom Classic, the Plateau Custom Classic, and the ASP Halloween Howl. And they have huge numbers. They're actually the largest 2 tournaments in any area in the surrounding 5 states except for the whole enchilada in Las Cruces, which has 100, and I think they had 240 something last year. We weren't there. Our Clovis Softball Association, as most of you know, continually strives to improve the Guy Leader Complex and to improve the quality of the tournaments because this is what keeps teams coming back to Clovis in many of our surveys and teams. Many of the responses compliment the quality of our overall complex and the professional manner we run the tournaments. Clovis softball will continue to put on these very fine tournaments and pursue championship tournaments every year. When I say championship tournaments, we have organizations that have state tournaments on those and get those. Didn't get one this year, but we had one last year. I really just we come to you asking you for $15,000. And that's definitely well spent on all of our tournaments. We come up with probably over $50,000 worth of expenses in those tournaments that we end up paying out and stuff like that. So we appreciate all the help the Lodgers Board's done for us over the history of the Clovis Softball Association and the Lodgers Board. Back when Guy Leader first started the complex, the Lodgers Board helped him. And it helps us all. And it's a touchy subject with me because we strive to be the best, and we're pretty dang close with our little old dirt fields and our little old light fields. We need some improvements. We're working on that as an association and working with that with Russell in the city to try to let us improve the park a little bit more with some of the user fees. So, but that's probably about all I have. I'll answer any questions. I'll backing us for the previous years for many of them, and hopefully you'll do it again.
Okay. Your event dates, June, July, August, September, October, does that mean 2 tournaments that month?
Actually, June this year, we're not having a little custom. This is the first year that youth girls and youth boys are back for 2 years. We're not going to have the youth little custom like we always had in the past. We still are going to have a Guy Leader open tournament on the second week of June, and then the Custom Classic also in that month. And then in July, we'll end up having the World Youth Tournament, 15th, 16th. We got 2 teams already committed from Louisiana. One, you saw them come a couple of years ago. They're great kids. They bring a bus. They stay for a long time. It's pretty cool. We got commitments already out of Texas for some of it. And this is all slow pitch for youth. And we're excited about having the youth tournament again. It's always been fun and very attended. We also have another invitational at the end of July. It's a batting out cancer tournament that we try to find one of our members that's been battling cancer, and proceeds go to them. August this year is pretty weak, I'll be honest with you. We might have a mixed tournament. That's the time of all the state tournaments, and so it's pretty hard to put on something against that. September, we really don't do a whole lot in September as far as tournaments also, but we get ready for the Halloween Howl. And last year we had 158, 160?
160.
160 last year. Yeah. And that's a lot for our little 5-field complex in Spencer's too. So, and it's well known. It's well known all over the world. I mean, I've seen some of our shirts for the Halloween Howl in shows like Hoarders. I mean, people wearing them, the workers and stuff like that. You can see them. I mean, and you can tell that, and you see them at the airports a lot with a lot of people wearing our local stuff. So.
That's good. Thank you. You guys got any questions?
The only question I had, Roger, this is such a great event, and we know this brings folks in from out of town in big numbers, which is great. But just on your advertising plan page, it's got a lot more than just what you have outlined, perhaps, because it's $29,000 and you're only asking for 15. So how are you spending the money?
We're spending it on other awards and all the difference in the awards, but I mean, we have an entry fee that brings in the money as well. That offsets that. Is that what you're asking, or?
Well, no, for the 15,000 that you're asking for from lodger's tax.
Right.
On the page, the summary page that talks about the advertising and promotion plan.
Right.
And what you're doing and how much is needed. I mean, what we've got here is $29,000 worth of stuff. So is it all going to be on promotional items then, or is there going to be any on advertising?
We don't really pay for advertising for those two. I mean, we don't need it. I don't make that. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, no. I mean, I feel like paying for advertising is a wasted venture in that, because this is word of mouth for these ball players. I mean, they just get up and come to those 2 tournaments. I mean, the other little tournaments, it's a lot local, but it's just like we had 54 in the first tournament, or 52 in the first tournament, and then we had a little Pepsi Slam. We had 30-something, and then we had this last one this weekend. Mm-hmm. And even out of town of that, we still ended up having just for those 3 tournaments, we still ended up having 35 or 38 teams that were from out of town far enough to where they spent the night either on Friday or Saturday night.
Okay, so the full 15,000 though is just gonna be all promotional awards?
Pretty much, yes, ma'am. That's, Leanne, that's pretty much what we spend it on.
Okay.
I would say yes, I guess.
Yes.
I figured so, but it's just not outlined here
Okay.
for the 15,000. Am I asking for too much detail? Cause it,
No, and Mr. Chairman, I think I understand your question, is that in his application packet, everything, the number, total figure that he has in the packet is 29,000, he's only asking for 15,000. So where is he spending that 15,000? And I'm, like Mr. Jackson said, it's all towards the awards.
okay. Thank you, Roger.
Thanks. Thank you. Sorry, I'm not,
Mr. Chairman, I do have a question. Because this carries over into next fiscal year,
Right.
if we have to make cuts, what do you think about, I mean, how much do you think each one, is it an even amount for each tournament
no.
of the
not even
7?
close.
Okay, so of the 2 for September and October,
There's one that we have to spend really money on. We'll spend the entry fee on the other ones. Does
Okay.
that make sense?
okay.
I mean, we'd like to have a good amount for the HAL, because we have 6 divisions in that one, and they all make big numbers, and we go out of the award for the awards for those.
So that tournament, it's in October.
The end of October,
And the-
25th, 26th.
Yeah, and so out of that $15,000 request, how much of that goes towards the Halloween Howl?
Probably half.
Okay.
Probably half. I mean, the custom's gonna take a majority of it, and the youth world is gonna take some.
Okay.
And
And
we buy
the-
rings and stuff for those 3 tournaments. We have to have them molded and stuff.
Yeah, and the reason that we're asking the question, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, is that where we are budget-wise versus where we are request-wise, there's about $97,000 left for this fiscal year in available funding. And the amount requested, the Holiday Bazaar is asked to remove their application from consideration this evening. So that leaves about $115,000 worth of requests and only $97,000 of available funding. So that particular tournament falls into next fiscal year towards October, at the end of October.
Oh, yeah.
Which would then
and
give
I
us the
think that
ability
I
to.
blew that because I didn't ask for anything for the first 6 months like we used to do in the past.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so it may be something to where he has an application that he could resubmit in July and
Sure.
then be able to reduce that amount to help us offset some of this difference that we're trying to make up.
I sort of know a little bit better about how to fill them out now.
Yeah. So once again, the application this evening was for 15,000. You said about half of that. The Halloween house. So.
Crap about anything we get, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll make it work.
Okay.
We appreciate that,
Okay.
though. We do.
Thank
it?
you, Roger.
Thanks, guys. Girls.
Okay. Next up will be the Clovis Chamber of Commerce. Okay, she's on screen.
Hi there, can you guys hear me? Thank you for having me and for letting me join virtually. I know I've met in front of you guys to make this presentation the last 2 or 3 years, so if you've heard it before, it's the same New Mexico True Co-op program that we've been participating in. But this year there is one main difference that you'll see on the application. So I wanted to kind of explain that first of all. That main change is that we partnered this year with the city of Clovis and Curry County. So we all submitted one joint application instead of the 3 of us applying individually for this program. So representative from the city, Kelsey, and the representative from Curry County, Christian, we all met and tried to pinpoint our main tourism marketing needs and the goals that we wanted to accomplish with those programs. So we developed a plan for how we could best work together to use the co-op marketing offerings to reach those goals. So the different initiatives you'll see selected on our application were intentionally selected to fulfill those goals and to most effectively market Clovis and our main tourist attractions. And there were a number of reasons that we chose to partner this year. First of all, the New Mexico Tourism Department asked us to consider collaborating rather than submitting competing applications. And one of our main concerns with that was that, obviously with 3 organizations submitting, the amount might be larger than normal. But they assured us that even if we applied for more than normal, because we are combining our application, it wouldn't jeopardize our application. So the second reason that we felt like this would be the best option is because working together, we're actually able to leverage all of our funding to maximize our reach and accomplish more than we would be able to individually. So, for example, you'll see on the application, one of the initiatives that the city applied for is the photo and video shoot, where they plan to get assets to, so photos and videos of Hillcrest Park Zoo. And then Curry County also applied for a video and photo shoot to strengthen their library assets for the Curry County Event Center, hopefully for the Curry County Fair if they're able to come out during that time. And so in past years, we have learned that the New Mexico Tourism Department does grant awards based on whether or not a community has the necessary assets to support that initiative. So because the city and the county are going to build those libraries and have high quality videos available, that allowed the chamber to put our focus this year on promoting those attractions. So Hillcrest Park Zoo and the Curry County Event Center, by using those high quality videos in, for example, the green chili package that we applied for. So in addition, the chamber usually prioritizes the New Mexico True Adventure Guide and Texas Monthly. But since the city and county already also felt those would best meet their marketing goals, we were able to kind of spread the wealth and apply for the custom written article this year, which the chamber plans to highlight the Clovis Sound Studio that's being added to the Norman and Petty Rock and Roll Museum. So it was a really great collaboration to kind of be able to say, okay, well, what are you wanting to focus on and what are we wanting to focus on, and really stretch our reach as much as we could through this program. So the New Mexico Tourism Department is currently reviewing our application, and they'll be letting us know what we've been awarded by next week on May 16th. So at that point, we will then have 1 month to sign our grant agreement. So right now, everything that's on this request is what we've applied for. We'll find out next week if we've been granted everything we've applied for, and then we'll have 1 month from then to sign the grant agreement, and then the first payment, which is usually half of what's owed, is due by July 8th. So if the New Mexico Tourism does award us everything we applied for, and if we're able to get full funding this evening, that means that the chamber, the city, and the county would be combined spending $40,000 to receive a tourism marketing value of more than $120,000. So this is a really, really awesome opportunity because it's a 2-to-1 match this year, whereas in past years it's been a 1-to-1 match. So the reason we felt that it made sense for the chamber to do a single application in front of lodger's tax is because we are serving as the sole fiscal agent for this program. So even though Curry County and the city will reimburse some of the initiatives, we are working with the New Mexico Tourism Department as the sole fiscal agent, so that's why we did the same for lodger's tax. Does anyone have any questions?
Okay. Yes, the one we have is on your part 3 of your criteria. It says see attached forms, but we never got any attached forms.
Oh my gosh.
So would you say that would be as far as an incomplete application?
There might have been a misunderstanding, because I know we had submitted an application initially just from the chamber, but then when we had to go back and revise it to be from the chamber, the city, and the county, I wonder if something got lost in translation. So I definitely, the one that I have pulled up in front of me that we intended to submit has 2 or 3 pages of Microsoft Word documents and an Excel document in support. So I would love to get that to you guys if possible.
So Rachel, can you explain, I guess, further, obviously we have the budget that's listed in the background, and number 3 talks about the regions and cities in which you plan to market your event outside the city of Clovis. Could you explain the program in general and how it works with the New Mexico Tourism Department?
Sure. Yeah, so the program in general serves as a matching grant. So what the tourism department offers are a number of initiatives that they think might be beneficial to communities across the state. And we go through and look at our tourism marketing goals and what would be most effective for our communities, and we pick the ones that we want to apply for. And in addition to that, we are able to work with them to get selected. So let's say we have the New Mexico, or what's one that would work? The Texas monthly, print option that the county is applying for in this case. If we were granted that initiative, we would work with them to provide the assets and the language that we want to use for those promotions, and then they would execute all of the marketing for it to either the demographics that are applicable for that entity. So like Texas Monthly is big in Houston, and a bunch of other places in Texas are the main ones. But really, it just depends on the initiative. So there are some that are more that are span more throughout the state, and then there are others that if say for instance we do a digital marketing initiative with them, we as the partner get to pick which demographics we want to target. So that could be Amarillo, West Texas in general, Dallas, Denver, really whatever would make the most sense for the ad that we're working with them for. Did that answer your question?
That is so confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that answers my question. And then Rachel, I have another question for you, Mr. Chairman, if you don't mind.
Sure.
And so in July, we had awarded almost $24,000, $23,000 to the co-op marketing and advertising campaign. Is this replacing that, or is this the same program? How do those two work together?
It's an annual program, so I was actually just talking to Kim about that. I think if we haven't requested reimbursement for that, then I think there was something slipped through the cracks when I know that the first payment was due maybe a day or two before Chase passed away, and then the second one was at the end of the year in December. So we have paid the New Mexico Tourism Department for that $23,800-ish. But if we haven't requested reimbursement, that might have been something that we still need to do. But they are the same program, but it's an annual program every year where you reapply and get granted different initiatives.
Okay, thank you. I was just looking for money. So, thank you.
And I also have a question, Mr. Chairman. You said the 40,002 for if it's the 120,000 that you're awarded. If it's awarded less, does your request come down, or are you asking for the 40,000 regardless of what your funding is?
So because we don't know what they'll award us, that's why we're requesting the 40,002. If they only grant us, 20, 30,000, then we would only be asking for reimbursement from lodger's tax for whatever whatever we're awarded. So it could theoretically come down, but I will say in the past 2 or 3 years that I've been doing this with them, they've granted us everything we've applied for.
If, to the inverse of that, if we don't have the $40,000 to put into it, and say there's only potentially $30,000 to put into it, can we adjust what is awarded from the state towards that program?
So yes, right now we haven't locked in anything. So if we were awarded a smaller amount than what we need to cover it, then that's what the city, county, and the chamber would do, is we'd go back and say, okay, are we able to find funding to cover this remainder portion, or do we need to start cutting some things out before we sign that grant agreement?
Okay, thank you. And the payments are due when, if it was awarded?
The first payment is due July 8th. The second one wouldn't be due until the end of the year, so sometime in December.
Okay, thank you.
So if we were fully funded, that 40,000, 20,000 would be due July 8th, and then the additional 20,000 would be at the end of the year.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's all I have,
Any
Mr.
other
Chairman.
questions?
None here.
No? All right, thank you.
Thank you guys very much.
All right, next one's the Curry County Mounted Patrol.
Good evening. I'm Richard Hadley with Curry County Mounted Patrol. Since I'm back here so soon, I was here a couple of months ago. I thought I need a bodyguard, so I brought Jeff Lynn with me. Jeff's a member of our group, and he handles a lot of our advertising, marketing, things like that. But I was here 2 months ago and with a request, and y'all awarded us a good portion of our request. But about 2 days after I was here meeting with y'all, I was reminded that we're in charge of the parade and the Queens and the Little Buckaroo Rodeo and some other things that I had quite honestly forgot about because of the Queens and the chamber had come and requested funds for that in the past. So we're asking for just a little bit more money to kind of tie us over. Our rodeo is coming up in about 3 weeks. And like I said, we appreciate all the help you can give us. It says on the sheet what we're looking for some of these other functions as far as we're having the Queens contest, the Little Buckaroo Rodeo. The parade's coming up, and we're needing some awards for that as well. And some other things. I got a little bit of news. Good, I think it's good news. Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association and the Cowboy Channel have contacted us and are showing some interest in televising our rodeo, which goes all across the United States and Canada. And that would be, I feel like, a good plug for us, for Clovis. I'm supposed to have a conference call with them next Wednesday or Thursday, and working on the details on that. And Jeff had a few things he wanted to go over.
A lot of it Richard already said, just, a little bit of things that we didn't know we were kind of in charge of, that we needed funding for. Things like the Queen contest, one of them we do have, we award a Queen here from Curry County. It's, we actually have added in Curry and Roosevelt, and I believe Quay County are the 3 counties going to be part of now. We have the Queen, the Princess, then we have the Little Buckaroo Queen and Little Buckaroo Princess as well. And then our Queen goes on to enter in for the New Mexico pageant. And so it does kind of go on throughout the state here for us. That's one thing that we really didn't know, the sashes and, the awards and things like that goes along in with a pageant. Richard mentioned the rodeo channel, the Cowboy Channel. I think that's going to be a great addition to Clovis. If we can get our name out there even farther, we might even have a few Canadian friends come visit us, down this far, just to see it. Be great for it. We did see another rodeo on the Cowboy Channel the other day that was from Guyman, and they had a lot of extra push from the Clovis logo or the Guyman logo on it. Same thing, if it's televised, it's a great thing. I never knew how many people really watch the Cowboy Channel until I started hanging out with these guys a lot, and I think it's what they watch 90% of the time. The Cowboys love it. So that's something that's really good. Then in addition, we've got some opportunities for some additional marketing that we've never really pushed on too much. We've tried to do bigger areas besides just our immediate radius over 100 miles. But when you start getting Lubbock, Amarillo, things like that, of course the cost gets way greater when it comes to purchasing things. So we've tried to stay in our smaller communities, but we do have a few opportunities possibly to get a little bit more marketing in the bigger cities, places that maybe have never been to Clovis or have never come to an event here before. So we're looking at trying to add in as much. This is, Rich, I don't know if he's mentioned it, this is the 50th anniversary of the PRCA rodeo. We haven't had one in 2 years because of COVID. So we're really, really just trying to push and make the 50th anniversary a big deal and make people understand this isn't just a small rodeo, it's a big 3-night event. We have a great announcer this year. He's a world-renowned announcer that's done the NFR rodeo. He'll be back again this year. In addition to our entertainment, I don't know if y'all probably remember Leon Coffey used to be the old, clown during the rodeo. He's retired since then a long time ago, but we've got Bobby Kerr coming this year, which he's got an amazing act with Mustang horses, actually one riding a car and all kinds of other stuff. So there's a lot going on. It's kind of a family event, and it's starting actually on Monday, so Pioneer Days actually lasts the entire week with the Little Buckaroo Rodeo, and then we move into all the other events, including the breakfast for Pioneer Days breakfast and everything else. So a lot more that we can add into it this year and keep going, we hope.
Any questions? No questions. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for your consideration.
We got the Clovis Civic Center, Special Hearts prom?
They weren't able to attend this evening, Mr. Chairman.
Okay,
But their packet is still up for consideration.
up for consideration, so we'll still talk about it. Okay. All right, so we'll move on to True Roping Productions.
We have Perch to hand out these images.
Sure.
Thank you. Good afternoon, and thank you guys for having me. My name is Kimberly Trujillo Bates. I'm with True Roping Productions. It is a family event that has grown over the past, this will now be 12 years. We started in our backyard. Just to give you a little background again, we started in our backyard. It grew from just a few friends and family members coming over to now what you see here, what I handed out to you, that image of some of the years I've taken some pictures of our large event at the Curry County Event Center. I wanted to pass that out because I kind of wanted to show you what you see whenever you walk around one of our events. These are patrons that are coming in and they're super excited to be there. You can see some of the ladies that have caught some of our t-shirts that have the City of Clovis logo in there. Sometimes we slip $100 in there or some cash in there to kind of make it a little more exciting. You see the cowboys sitting on top of each other. Everybody kind of knows now, after many years of all the giveaways that we do, that there's a little something extra and special in there. So this isn't your average team roping. My dad started this team roping to be kind of an original. We give away a Ford F-350 King Ranch. So our logo is the king of all truck ropings. So every year we purchase a King Ranch vehicle. We put the logo all over. I won this truck in Clovis, New Mexico. We have 2 trailers that we give away. I won this trailer in Clovis, New Mexico. 5 saddles that they also have Clovis on them. We have 2 handcrafted cowboy hats that are given away, and also 2 buckles that are given away. This doesn't include the cash prizes that are also included. So our team roping event has grown tremendously over the years. Mr. Garza told me last year, I said, this is our last one, like, we're done. It's, we're like, it stresses us out. He's like, no, if it's this big, it'll go again. I'm like, no, we're done. And so this year my dad calls and he's like, get ready, have you gone to the Lodgers Tax? I'm like, are you serious? And so not only are we going to do an event here, but we're also going to hold another event in another city. And so we're trying to work on, all of that, but it's spread so big that we have people asking us to hold this event. Team ropers come from all around. We've had people come from Oregon and as close Friona. I mean, they're coming from all around. We've had people win the trucks and trailers from Portales and as far away as, I don't even know where they've won them. But at the end of the roping, I'm handing out money and things like that too, because I also work the event. So I'm trying to keep track of counting all their prizes. But we've had what I like to call our traveling trophies that go around and support and showcase Clovis and all of everything that we're trying to bring here. We want everybody to come to Clovis to have fun at this event. It's a 3-day event, and so we have people that stay. They want to shop around. Now we have, oh my gosh, now I'm gonna forget. The burger place across town because it wasn't there last year. And so I was hesitant to put people at that hotel, but then they're like, Starbucks is right there. Like, we want to go to that hotel. And so last year, as I'm placing people in hotels, they're booking up. So I know that we're bringing in a lot of people. We have over 1,500 teams that come. This year we expect over 2,000 teams. That doesn't include family members, just people that like to come and watch, the family members of our workers and things that come. And so this year I'm asking for 40,000, which we were given last year with carryover from 2019. We didn't hold our event in 2019 due to COVID. And so instead of holding it somewhere else, even though we were asked to do that, we still kept it here in Clovis because we wanted to still hold that name, that it's in Clovis, that's where you come to have this roping, that's where it's gonna be. And so, this year I'm asking for the same amount, the 40,000, and, included in that would be the 1,000 for the trailer as a trophy, and then the 9,000 for the truck as a trophy. That's just a portion of the cost of what we're calling trophies, because we purchase those outright and give those away outright.
Okay. I don't know if he's talking to you, Vicky, or on an email. He said he's already saw advertising for it.
The flyer?
Maybe it's 15, we did 15, 20,000.
Have y'all started to advertise for this event already?
Yes, so our initial advertising isn't included in,
That's great, okay.
like our flyers that go out initially, they're not included in the request amount for right now. So whenever we receive funds from the lodger's tax, we include the city of Clovis, and then we also highlight our host hotels at the bottom of our flyer. So initially, it's just this is the time, this is the date, but then right after this, we start putting City of Clovis on everything and then advertising for that, as well as our host hotels and things like that. But so far, we should only have the true roping flyer that just shows that we're giving away the truck, where it's gonna be, the cash and prizes, because we do give away 170,000 cash and prizes guaranteed no matter how many teams show up. So if 10 teams showed up, we're still giving away that amount. And then just showing the payback, so we bring in those team ropers from out of town, showing the big money ropings. All of those are 90% payback. They don't keep any of that money in-house. It just goes right back to the team roper. And so that's just, the initial advertising is this, but then we advertise again. We also have the text message alert that goes out, the Team Roping Journal, Super Looper Magazine. They all go out again, so it's like a biannual thing, but we have to get it out there initially first so people can set their schedule to the team roping they're gonna attend.
Okay, good, thank you.
And Mr. Chairman, just for y'all's information, we do, when they submit their receipts for anybody their invoices to us, we check and make sure the invoices weren't an expense that occurred before the lodger's tax took action, the city commission took action. So that is something that we do double check.
Okay.
Kim knows.
Yes, I know.
Any other questions?
Thank you,
thank you.
thank you.
Okay. Okay, I think that adjourns as far as our applications to submit. So I want to take a 5-minute. Okay, so we'll go ahead and take a 5-minute break.
Thank you, council.
the application that was placed. And as Rachel said this time, the Curry County, the city of Clovis, and the chamber got together, and that's why it's such a larger request, is because we're trying to advertise all together. When we originally talked about the project with the tourism department, we were all acting individually. We thought, this is all a great program, we should all take advantage of this. We have things that we wanted to advertise as the city of Clovis. Curry County had things they wanted to advertise, as well as the chamber. And so we had started making individual applications, and that's when the state of New Mexico came back to us and said, guys, you're all in the same community, can y'all get together, please? And so we certainly do as partners and working together all the time. That just made sense. And so we did combine all of our applications together, and it's a great partnership between the organizations.
Good. Well, then,
I think
let's
it
go
should be
on,
easy.
fund everything.
I am supportive of funding all of them.
Just with one understanding that don't expect the same amount next year.
There's never any guarantees,
Right, so, I don't know.
but I see no reason not to fully fund all of them.
We're just looking for a motion in a second, Mr. Chairman.
I motion to fully fund each of the applicants, and that includes it excludes Holiday Bazaar. They'll come back to us on that one, but it includes that of the Special Hearts Prom packet. So, yeah, I move that we fully fund each applicant.
Okay, can I get a second? Okay, we got a second motion. And that'll be the conclusion of the largest tax
We
meeting.
have to vote.
Yep. Still need a vote.
Gotta vote.
Oh,
We have a motion.
Sorry.
Do we have a second?
Do we have
Second.
a-
Okay.
Yep.
We need,
Okay.
all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There you go.
Okay, and that's approved, give the order, and,
So one of the things, though, we had interacted on email about is the good of the order, and that was to talk about the application itself, right?
And,
Oh, the
and
reporting
yes, Member Tarson, Mr. Martin the chair wanted to talk about the after-event reporting requirements. And so he's not here this evening, so it's something that we could continue on to the next.
Okay.
And definitely include it on the next agenda for
Okay,
discussion.
perfect.
all right, that concludes. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you.